Hello, Frugal Force once again. This is Captain Frugal recording away on location, and today I just want to talk about an article I found on Comic Book News here, and it's comic book slash comics CB. Not a huge fan of this site. I'm not a big fan of any sites like this because, well, maybe I'll make another video later on how really in most cases they're nothing but a propaganda advertising wheel for the comic book companies. But this was written by Russ Burlingame on July 5th, 2017, and it's Mile High Comics drops out of Comic Con. Now, this might not seem like a big deal, but I think it's a little bigger than people realize. It says Mile High Comics, one of the United States' largest comic book retailers, has decided to withdraw from attending Comic Con International San Diego for the first time in 44 years. And it goes on to mention, due to, in quotes, after 44 years of my supporting them through good times and bad, that was just too much indifference to endure. This is for the Mile High. When you are in a relationship out of love and passion, but the other party could care less whether you live or die, you have to realize that it's time to move on. And that was from the management of Mile High. He also noted that shifting demographics and the increased size of the convention, and therefore higher demand for space, caused the costs for space to increase significantly. And he said he was paying even larger sum for his 70 feet of floor space, but seeing each year diminished foot traffic. He noted that it first started in 1973, which it cost him $40 for the space. And while it was hardly apples to oranges comparison, it said to the 18,000 Comic-Con wanted for this year's booth. Nothing about 18,000. It's been going up significantly. He says it's written up around 10% compared to the last time. Now, here's the issue with that. Comic Con is no longer as much of a comic book focus as a media focus, movies and all that. So it's taken a lot of shift to the comic book. So you have more people coming to these conventions that are not really going to spend comic book dollars. So it's decreasing his return on the company's investment significantly. Now, here's why it scares me. Notice that Comic Cons, which is the big thing for comic books, is now just a shadow of its former self. It's more of an entertainment thing and making comic books even reduced in sales. Now, why might that be such a big deal? Well, one is, think about this, comic book sales in general. People, even though they're enjoying these movie stuff, they're not buying the comics, which makes you wonder. Maybe because, let's say, you go out and watch a Marvel movie, and my guess is you'd want to go out and pick up a Marvel comic to read about that character. And when you pick it up, for example, like the Hulk, and you find out it's nothing like the Bruce Banner Hulk or Captain America's Nazi cap, or Thor isn't Thor anymore, you go, what? Why would I want this? So Marvel isn't helping this either. So my guess is that comic sales decreasing significantly, partly due to Marvel and their large decrease. Now, as much as Dan Slott, for example, in the past videos I've done, tried to brag about sales share, doesn't that mean numbers or profit? As a matter of fact, that's how much they shipped, and they have usually a dollar higher price than their competition per issue, and it doesn't mean those even sold. So comic companies, retailers like Mile High is huge. Now think about this. If you are a comic book reader, chances are if you've been a fan for 10 plus years, you've probably at one point purchased comics at least from Mile High Comics. I know I've been buying comics for over 30 years, and I've bought some comics from them several times. So, what are your thoughts on this? What is you think this is impact? Is this any has any signs of impact on future comic book sales, as well as the shops, as well as doing them at Comic Cons? What will be the impact of this, or is this just a minor ripple that won't have any effect on the comic book culture? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say about that. Also, if you do enjoy this, please be sure to hit that bell and like and subscribe. And if you want to really help me, subscribe on YouTube and or tip. I don't run any advertisements. I do this ad free, and I really appreciate the community that you guys have provided me with. So until next time, keep it frugal.